Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the video series where we are reviewing the Understanding Construction Drawings textbook. So this video is about chapter 9 or unit 9, and this is the first unit in part 2. So part 2 is reading drawings, and that is about the lake house. So in part 2, there are quite a few chapters, quite a few units. So it's unit 9 through 33. And basically, all the units are intended to provide you the information that is necessary to build a moderately complex single-family home. So the sequence of the units in part 2 follows the sequence of actual construction. And in some cases, all the information necessary for a particular stage of construction can be found on one sheet of drawings. Other stages require cross-referencing among several drawings, and the relationships among the various drawings are discussed as the need to cross-reference them arises. So let's talk about Unit 9, and that is clearing and rough grading the site. So basically, the most important objectives of this unit is to identify work to be included in clearing a building site according to site plans, then to interpret contour lines and grading indications of a site plan, and interpolate unspecified site elevations. So just if we briefly walk through the unit, we know that one of the first activities on the building site after laying out the building lines is excavating for the foundation and any concrete slabs, if that is the new construction. And please note here that we're talking about the new construction. We're not talking about the renovation. We're not talking about any adaptive reuse projects. This is the total new construction. There is a clear site, and we are building the building from scratch. So, and so the excavating requires that you know elevations of the foundations and slabs that are compared to the elevation of the natural grade of the site. And the one of the kind of like important things to remember here is that we need to balance the cut and fill. Just because transporting soil or earth is very expensive and all the earthwork is expensive, it's best to balance the cut or whatever you excavate and fill or whatever you put back in the excavation after you're done and after the foundation is constructed. So please remember that. So when we talk about the property boundary lines, they are usually shown on the site plan, and the direction of a property line is usually expressed as a bearing angle. The bearing of a line is the angle between the line and north or south. So bearing angles are measured from north or south, depending on which keeps the bearing under 90 degrees. So you know that there are 360 degrees in a complete circle, 60 minutes in a degree, and 60 seconds in a minute. So those are like basic details, but they may be really helpful when you work with the drawings, when you work with the site plan. So the point of beginning, or POB, may or may not be shown on the site plan. If the point of beginning is not shown on the plan, start at a convenient corner. So when you work with the plans, just start where you deem convenient for the equipment to park, or some other considerations may be taken into place. So corners are usually marked with an iron pin or IP or some permanent feature. The approximate direction of the boundaries can be found with a handheld compass. and the approximation should be accurate enough to aid in finding the marker, such as an iron pin or a manhole cover or a concrete marker, or just like any other items that the crew uses all the time. So in all the construction activity and debris should be kept within the property boundaries unless permission is first obtained from neighboring landowners. So when we clear the site, a couple things to remember. So the first step is to prepare the site, and we need to clear any brush or trees that are not part of the finished landscape. The architect's choice of trees to remain is based on consideration of many factors. So trees and other natural features can be an important part of architecture, not only for their natural beauty, but for energy conservation. So here, the lake house that is here in the drawing package in the book. And please, please, please back up my videos with the textbook. This is critically important. You will see a lot of beautiful images and you will understand the drawings better. So here you can see the summer sun and the winter sun, how that works for the like this. If it's deciduous trees, then they actually provide heat in winter, so they let the winter sun pass through, and in summer they actually provide shade, and that is good for energy saving purposes. So areas that are too densely wooded to show individual trees are outlined and marked woods, and removal of unwanted trees may require felon and stump removal or may be accomplished with a bulldozer and dump truck. So in either case, care must be exercised not to damage the trees that are to be saved or preserved. So also when we do the grading of the site, that is actually referred to moving earth away from high areas into low areas. Site grading is necessary to ensure that water drains away from the building properly and does not puddle or run into the building. In some cases, grading may be necessary for access to the site. Also, there is a green note here. Please um, take a look at those because that is important and you will be aware of some of the green building details. And this is what what is really beautiful about this textbook. So grade is measured in vertical feet from sea level or from a fixed object such as a manhole cover. And this vertical distance is called elevation. So the term elevation to denote a vertical position should not be confused with elevation drawings, with the exterior elevations that show the height of objects. The elevations of specific points are given as spot elevations, and there is a symbol for that. So please take a look at that. So the grade of a site is shown by topographic contour lines. These are lines following a particular elevation. And the vertical difference between contour lines is the vertical contour interval. The plot plans for plot plans, this is usually 1 or 2 feet. When the land slopes steeply, the contour lines are closely spaced. When the slope is gradual, the contour lines are more widely spaced. So please remember that. Also, broken lines indicate natural grade or NG, and solid lines indicate finished grade or FG. So please take a look at the drawings provided. So when the natural grade is at a lower elevation than the finished grade, fill is required. When the natural grade elevation is higher than the finished grade elevation, earth must be removed, and this is a cut. So we spoke a little bit about that already. And then we're moving to the interpolating elevations. So sometimes it's necessary to find an elevation that falls between two contour lines, and this can be done by interpolation. And this is a method of finding an unknown value by comparing it with known values. So please take a look. There are a few steps when we do that. And yes, this basically is it for our unit 9. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in unit 10.